All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Clantis Dumaguta, and welcome to the Clantis Dumaguta podcast. We are going live. I know it's impromptu. These days I come by surprise to you guys. I know, but I'm supposed to be in Soweto right now with a bunch of course, you guys already know more African Americans. And this time around, I'm also meeting Black British people that are coming to South Africa. But first things first, before I go any further than this, I just want to say Happy Black History Month. Now, I want to say something about Black History Month, and I also have a suggestion. I know some people might feel somewhat about it, and they're going to be some other people going to feel somewhere about it. But again, it is something that we can come together about, consider it, deliberate on it, and let's see what the future holds, right? So, as you can see with the title of the video, I say Happy Black History Month, and then I say add Black South Africa. That's actually the suggestion because as South Africans, we like to be in solidarity with our Black diaspora. Whatever commemoration that you have, wherever you may have a commemoration that is relative and relevant to Black history, whether that is in the UK or that is in Canada or it's in the US, like the month of February, it is Black History Month. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know much about Black History Month except to say if I had to use my mind or use my brain, it is about the good fight that Black people had to fight in order to be recognized as human beings. Even though prior to the 20th century, Black history was wiped out or it was not documented for whatever reasons that the people that kidnapped Black people from Africa to the islands, to the US, the North America, South America, and also Europe. Whatever reasons that they did not want us to know about each other or did not want y'all to know about your own history, I believe that a Mr. Let me see, because I did write it down. A Mr. The where did I write him? Or a a Dr. Cara G. Woodson in the 1920s, I think 1926 or something, he decided that he's going to document a Black History Month. I mean, Black history, basically go back in time and find the facts and find and also fact finding mission in order for him to revive and bring alive Black history, where Black people come from, etc., and so on. I also want to make a disclaimer to those that say I am not a Black American or African American. I'm original American. Listen, if something that is not for you, I don't understand why you insert yourself in discussions such as this. You already say you don't recognize yourself as an African American, so there is no point or smartness in you inserting yourself in something that does not concern you. So please do yourself a favor and just say goodbye. There are other channels that probably exist that speak your language. This one is about the Black nation. If you don't recognize yourself as a Black person, this platform is not for you. The second disclaimer, because I sometimes see people say, you need to do your research. This channel is about my observation and my experience. I don't go down and start researching things. I speak because I hope that in the comment section or when I'm live, there is a link already that I've posted. If you want to educate me about Black History Month, you can click on the link and then take me through school. I am willing to learn because I want to learn everything about us, how we were separated, how we now bringing ourselves together so that we can move in unison and continue to fight the good fight. So if you do not recognize yourself as a Black person, do not insert yourself. Please don't insert yourself and don't even make a comment because it's going to look stupid on you. That's all I'm going to say about that. So in the comment section, I see Nomshe. Hi, Nomshe. How are you doing? Thank you so much for coming through. People, if you want to come through, there's a link in the chat, in the live chat. I will highly appreciate it if you click. It doesn't matter South African or you are a African somewhere or an African American, African diaspora. It doesn't matter. This platform is for all of us, all of us. All right, you can come through and let's have a chat. So I understand that Black History Month it is observed. Let me put it because that commemorative it's a mouthful. Let us say it is observed in, of course, originally it started in the United States around the 1920s. I could be wrong, please correct me. Around 1926 or so. By 1976, I understand that African Americans had already understood who they were because in the 1960s they were on a mission, and that mission was worn by Black people to be recognized as human beings. That part is great, even though the fight continues to happen to this very day. Now, I understand that Canada, Ireland, and the United Kingdom also commemorate or observe Black History Month, even though with Ireland and the UK, it is observed around October each year. But nonetheless, Black History Month, it is observed in when it's supposed to be observed. And I say, let's observe it throughout the year because I also want, it's my suggestion. If you say no, it's cool. But it's just my suggestion is that can we add South Africa on that as well as in solidarity with Black people all around the world that observe Black History Month or Black History Day? Like, for example, with us in South Africa, we have, I think, two or three major observations. Like, for example, Freedom Day on the 27th of October, of April, sorry, on 27th of April. This is the day that South Africa killed apartheid. The apartheid died on the 27th of April when Nelson Mandela became South Africa's first democratic president. So we observe that every single year on the 27th of April. We call it Freedom Day. And we as South Africans, and I'm sure South Africans that are going to comment in the comment section, would not mind to celebrate it with the African diaspora. We wouldn't mind that. As a matter of fact, it would be great to see our brothers and sisters from the diaspora come to the stadiums and other programs that are held on the 27th of April and probably even speak and encourage us and in solidarity celebrate this particular day with us. The second major one is June. June is observed for Youth Day. This is taken from June 16th. If you're not aware, around 1976, in fact, in 1976, June 16, a bunch of Black students were killed by the apartheid government for refusing to be taught in Afrikaans. The apartheid regime wanted Black people to start learning in English, in Afrikaans. They also wanted them to speak Afrikaans. Something like if you go to Ivory Coast today, or you go to the Francophone countries, and let me not go that far. Let's just go up north, our northern neighbor, Mozambique. Black people, they speak Portuguese. They no longer speak their native language, the language that they were born in. It's no longer in existence. Now they speak Portuguese because the Portuguese, the colonizers from Portugal, said no any other language but Portuguese that's going to be spoken. So they wanted to do the same thing with us and said medium of instruction from now on is going to be in Afrikaans. Young students from as young as 11 years old said, no, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And so they marched the streets, and then the apartheid government sent out its police force and shot down a bunch of students. To this day now, we celebrate June 16th as Youth Day. But now we decided that June is going to be Youth Month, just like February is observed for Black History Month. So I'm saying that allow us to observe Black History Month along with you as South Africans, the Black South African nation, celebrate June, what do you call this, Black History Month. Because at the end of the day, your history is our history. You are me, I'm you, right? That's Ubuntu, right? And so if you are going to observe something that number one was very painful to yourselves, and when I listen to these stories, sometimes they bring me to tears. And I always felt like, you know what, this is as if it's been done to me. And I'm sure a lot of South Africans can resonate with this because our history is so similar with that of African Americans. I get that there are some people who are a little bit sensitive when I only point out African Americans. That is why I invite you from wherever you may be as a Black person to come and teach, educate me. I'm open to be educated about your history. Thus far, I'm only hearing African American history. I would like to hear Jamaican history, or the Caribbean history. I would like to hear the British Black history. I would like to hear the Canadian Black history, and so on and so forth. I am not just picking one, it's just that I am not meeting people that come from other parts of the world of this race. And I do invite you, please. So I do suggest that also invite us as South Africans to, in solidarity, to celebrate Black History Month. Now, there are some programs that I am seeing that are happening here in South Africa, and Black History Month is part and parcel of these programs. Number one, YouTube in South Africa is celebrating Black History Month. That made me very happy. It actually brought some joy and appreciation that YouTube will celebrate Black History Month also in South Africa, and YouTubers in South Africa are celebrating Black History Month along with African Americans. So now that made me very happy, and I thought, hey, why don't we have a discussion, an informal discussion? Maybe going forward, we can say, hey, when the United States African American nation is celebrating Black History Month, or in October, Britain and Ireland is celebrating Black History Month, come on, include us too. Invite us too. Let us observe and celebrate with you your achievements. Now, one thing that I am most proud of about African Americans, because without African Americans, I do believe that nobody, nobody, whether, as long as you are not white, nobody will see the United States as a dream or land of milk and honey if it was not for the African Americans who fought the good fight. Africans will not dream of going to the United States for studying or for living as like greener pastures. Africans will not be doing that because some of them will not even want to be part and parcel of all the mess that African Americans went through in the 1960s. They will not have wanted to go through Jim Crow in the South. They will not have wanted to be lynched. They will not have want, but because African Americans stayed home, I'm talking in the United States, they fought and won. And now people from outside of the United States suddenly are looking into it and say, hey, I think I can make a better life there. All in the backs or on the backs of African Americans. And I think African Americans ought to be respected and appreciated for that fight that they fought. And it's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate that I hear stories of how African Americans are not enjoying the systems that is making everyone else live a better life, but instead the systems are fighting against them simply because they are Black people. Just yesterday, I was having a conversation with an African American lady who said slavery still exists in America. It's just that, no, it wasn't a lady, it was a brother. I think he comes from Michigan. Yeah, between Michigan and Washington, D.C. I'm sorry, bro, if you're watching, I forgot where you come from. He's like, no, slavery still exists in the United States. It's just that it's disguised in a way that it is not inhumane. But we feel it in the United States. Now they are brazen about how they don't want us. If we make a complaint, they'll say, go back to Africa, as if they voluntarily came to the United States of America. And now that they are leaving the United States of America, and they're like, where are you going to? We want you, we need you, because you are our slaves. That is why some of us in our conversation, the biggest fear for us is that there'll come a time where these people are gonna be like, no, 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 no. Now they are living in droves. Now they are living in droves. We need to come up with a plan. And we're already anticipating cancellation of passports. We're already anticipating flights being shot up, making it near impossible for African Americans to travel. And again, I like to speak to what I know and I understand. I know that Africa is a 54 country continent, but I'm going to speak for South Africa. And I see a lot of my brothers and sisters are coming here as well. And so they might say, like, let's make the flights expensive to Johannesburg and Cape Town or wherever else that they go to. Or they'll just say, well, we decided, or the United States of America has decided to cancel Black people's passports, making it near impossible for you to travel and come to Africa or wherever in Africa. These are the stories that are scary. These are the anticipations that we talk about. Why? Because whether you do it or you don't do it, you're still damned. Or how's it said? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. So now, if you don't leave, you are lynched, you are killed by the police, you are looked at as though you are criminals, even though you are not. And when you say, okay, I'm packing my bags and I'm going back to where my forefathers come from, no, no, don't go. It's dangerous there. It's very dangerous there. And then you look at the flights that are coming to South Africa, for example, it's just the same people who said it's dangerous out there, meaning South Africa. And I hear that they say South Africa is the most dangerous country in the world. And I've been asking African Americans that I hear right now that I'm being hanging out with. Tonight, I'm supposed to be hanging out with a lot. Unfortunately, I'm having a bit of an ailment. I don't know what I ate this morning, and it kind of like stopped me from going to Soweto and celebrating and having a great time. But they are sending pictures to me and messages that they're having a great time. But the point that I'm trying to make here is these are conversations that we are having that sooner or later, they're gonna be like, no, let's stop this. Let's stop this right now. And some are saying before that even happens, I need to get out before flight tickets are too expensive or they cancel our passports or making it near impossible for African Americans to travel to Africa. Also, not just African Americans, but the African diaspora, wherever they may be. It makes sense. It does make sense. Let's get into the chat before the messages get a lot. The live chat. Emmanuel, how are you doing? Good evening, Mr. Dumagute. I am listening to you, brother. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. I appreciate you and your support. I highly appreciate it. Jennifer says, are elections held around the same time as Freedom Day? They should actually be held around the same time, but we've held elections in May before. But there are talks that this year's elections may be in August. I don't know why, because I prefer them to be around April. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the 27th because the 27th is a public holiday. So I don't mind May either. Just little after the Freedom Day, then we have elections. I don't mind that. But yeah, it's usually around April, May. So it's going to be interesting why this year it's going to be held in August. Well, it's rumors, it's not confirmed yet. The Rock says, what's up, Clantis? What's up, The Rock? Thank you so much for coming through. Okay, let me get this right. Yahweh's kid. Yes, we're still in the land of our captivity, which is very sad, by the way. And I hate that also the behavior of some of these captures towards African American History Month. I don't get it. I mean, I've been reading stories, I've been reading comments in other parts of the social media. They just disrespect black people. Just disrespect, no acknowledgement whatsoever that uh, African Americans were forcefully brought to the United States. So if you're going to say, get out of the United States if you don't like it here, what nonsense is that? As if the United States belong to them. I don't understand why African Americans also don't call white people European Americans, because America is not theirs. They come from Ireland, they come from Italy, they come from England, they come from Scotland, they come from all over the what do you call this, Europe. But why are they American and black people are African American? So if African American are African Americans, they should be European Americans too. That's just how I see it. And if I'm in the United States and I see a white person, I'm going to say European American, because I know the United States of America belongs to the Native Americans, the Indians. So to say they are American, no. If black people are African American and you're white, come on, you're also a European American. You come from Europe. That's where your roots are. That's where your umbilical cords come from. You know? So, so yeah, Yahweh's kid says even Africans are coming back home in droves. I mean, I was sharing just yesterday that I know somebody that went to the United States. He had an 8-year contract in America. But 3 months later, he came back home. He was like, no, thank you. They can sue me if they want to. And he told them that I cannot live like that. Black people are not treated as if they exist, as if they have a brain. There is no, and he thinks that he's not going to thrive or learn anything because he will be forever frustrated. That frustration is going to turn into anger. And he's not that type of person. And I know him not to be that type of person. So it's like, for my own sanity, let me pack up and go back home. Let me pack up and go back home. 3 months. In fact, it was not even 3 months. It was 2 months and maybe a few days to 3 months. He was back home. He was like, I'm sorry, I cannot. I cannot. No ways. America is not for black people. That's what he said. The Rock says, Clantis, so when I get there, have my US wife, my South African wife. So you're making, you want me to be a matchmaker? Okay, okay, come. Definitely, I have several people that I can line up for you. You can take them out on dates. Now, you must understand here, dating is intentional. Don't do the passport bro thing, because I don't support it as a black man in Africa. I don't support it as a Zulu man, and I also don't support it as a South African, because that's not our culture. Our culture is, when you are going to come and date somebody, it must be intentional. You must have intentions of dot dot dot, meaning marriage, basically. So yeah, I'll have your wife ready. Okay. Anyways, please guys, please come through. Can a brave soul do me a favor and come through and talk to me? Teach me about Black History Month, because I don't know much about it. I do not want to say things that I am just sucking out of my thumb, or maybe just because I read it. Because every time when you read something, and the reason why I no longer do like the research conversations is because somebody always comes and say wrong history. Oh, you are incorrect. I was like, you know what? Let me do this the way I know how, my observation as well as my experience, because these two things you cannot dispute it. You can't dispute my experience, just like I can't invalidate your experiences and observations. So the whole, like, yeah, let's dig down into, but I am willing also. That's the whole purpose of this channel, is for me to learn from you as well. If you are a South African and I'm just focusing on the Zulu tribe, and you are a Pedi, or you are a Venda, or you are Xhosa, come through and teach me your own traditions and cultures, because I'm not going to be speaking on your behalf, because I don't know how you do your culture. You understand what I'm trying to say? Same thing with African American and the Black History Month. I want to learn. Teach me what is it all of. I know that this year's theme is about performing arts, the visual art, performing arts, and which is another thing that I feel like that builds the United States. Not only our resources that were raped out of Africa and built all the wealth that America has today, Europe has today, but also when it comes to the arts and culture of Black people in the United States, they build that. Today, the African American entertainment industry is influential globally. The African American culture is influential globally as well. Hip hop, some nations even go as far as appropriating that culture and then profit out of African American culture. Why? Because it is beautiful, it is attractive, and so they take that and then they better their own lives and claim it as though it's their own. Again, I keep saying that African American good fight is not over yet. It's ongoing. Every single day, African Americans have to fight something new. With all the other stuff that's going on, there's something else that pop up, and then they have to fight and battle it out until they win. And then there comes other people behind like vultures and then benefit out of that fight. And who is left behind in the cold? The same people that were fighting, huffing and puffing and just tired, angry and frustrated. And then comes a South African and then benefits out of that. That is unfair. If anything, as a South African, if I go to the United States, when I kiss the ground, I'm not kissing the ground of these people. I'm kissing the ground of these people for allowing me to be here in the United States and also to enjoy what I am going to enjoy in the United States. Attribute that to the Black people of the United States. So instead of turning around and I'm hearing Africans fighting African Americans, what sort of immigrants are those? You are there because of them. Without them, you will not be there. That's a fact. Okay, let me go to the comment section again. I don't want to overwhelm myself with the comments by just letting them uh, run. Emmanuel says, Clantis, please help me to understand how on earth can we celebrate our blackness when most of our governments in Africa are still bowing in front of the Western leaders? We create our own, like what we're doing right now. Have you ever heard any South African government taking to the public and announcing to the people of South Africa that we are having new visitors, how we ought to be treating them, how we should make sure that they are welcomed at home? None of them are doing it, but as the citizens, we are doing it. We are making sure that they feel comfortable, safe, and all of that stuff, and also giving them ideas if they're looking for business ideas, if they're looking for marriage or to date, whatever the case is. We are the ones that are doing it. I think the whole the establishment, whether it's a political establishment or government establishment, we know they have failed us, and we know they will continue to fail us. Tell me why South Africa at this point is not realizing or recognizing that we are having our African American brothers, our African diasporans coming to South Africa. Others are visiting, others are relocating. That is skill. That is money they're also bringing along with them. And that is going to do what? Contribute to the economy of the country and the progress of the country. Why no government leader has come out to say, listen, guys, we are going to do one, two, three to make it easy for African Americans, or make it easy for Black British or Black Canadians, etc., and so on, to come to South Africa. Relax the visa restrictions because they are quite tight. Quite tight. I keep getting emails of people saying I've been rejected because I did not have this teensy weensy little information. Something that is so insignificant. Why? and now they cannot come to South Africa for that very reason? No. Why are we being short-sighted? In fact, anyways, we've always had short-sighted leaders. So it's only you and me, Emmanuel, who can make it easy. You and I can speak to our government, petition them, say something to them. Like, we are going to vote for a political party, for example. We vote for a political party that is also going to consider our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, how they can come here easily, how they can prevent plane tickets shooting up, how can we prevent XYZ from happening to them, how can you make it easy for them also to acquire land, etc., and so on. Whatever it is that we have to do to make our brothers and sisters comfortable, make our brothers and sisters think of coming back home, we need to make it easier. Only us, I believe, so far. I know I'm being simplistic about it, but I think it's the people. Oh, it's always the people. The government will always fail us one way or the other, unfortunately. They haven't been taking leave from Ghana, the year of return. Okay, fine, I get it. I hear that black people were also taken from South Africa, but we know that in majority they were taken from West Africa. So it makes sense that Ghana would have made that call of the year of return. Now, probably they're wondering what angle can we take. I don't know. But you know what? South Africa still has resources. I'm talking natural resources. Why don't we use an angle around that and invite and also make it easy for them to come to South Africa? I don't get it. There ought to have been a campaign already by now. But because we have short-sighted leadership, I don't think we'll get there anytime soon. Unfortunately, it is us. We will have to call master classes. We will have to have some kind of conferences by ourselves. By ourselves. If African America wants to have Clantis speak in a certain conference that is happening in the United States during Black History Month, cool. I'll go there. I'll speak about South Africa, what the opportunities are there. If you are interested, then I come back home. Same thing with us when we are going to have June 16th. How African Americans that are young also will have some dollar to stretch, how they can partner up and all whatever it is that we are going to brainstorm. It will go both ways, whether that is in Britain, in Canada, Argentina, Brazil, wherever we are at. It is us. Our governments are not going to do, are not going to lift a finger. Now, you ask a very important question about African leaders still bowing in front of the Western leaders. It is embarrassing, not only embarrassing, but disgusting as well. I don't know where I saw a bunch of African leaders. I think it was in Italy. I don't know what was going on there. I don't watch the news no more because of I don't. I just want to get my mental health right. But I saw somewhere, I think it was in Italy, not 2 weeks or a week ago, where all the Western leaders were put in BMWs, Mercedes Benz, Rolls Royces, and taken wherever they were taken to. But all the African leaders were put in some bus, not even like these fancy buses, but some kind of local bus, and they were driven to this conference center. And none of them decided to stand up and say something. That just goes to show how timid, probably even stupid they are. So now they continue to embarrass us on a global stage. So now, how can we trust people like that? How can we trust people like that? But at the same time, it's us who are putting them in these powers. Us, the voters. Why do we continue to vote them into power? Why? I think it needs to start with us. We need to look at this ourselves in the mirror and say, why am I voting the same nonsense every 5 years? I saw the newly elected president of Liberia almost fainting at 79 years old. Why would the people of Liberia vote in a 79-year-old man who couldn't stand and deliver an inauguration speech? He almost falls to the ground, fainting. When he's supposed to be going home and looking after his grandchildren, if you have grandchildren, or just to relax. Why would you be running a country at 79? Okay, I get it. The United States is also guilty with Joe Biden. But in Africa, it's something that continues to happen all the time. So why would they see what we see, what we experience when they're so out of touch with us? It makes absolute no sense to me. So it needs to start with us, I say. It needs to start with us. The Stoniak Swarthy says those natives that everyone thinks are indigenous to America migrated out of Asia. A lot of black people were in USA pre-slavery. And we move on. The Rock Clantis ain't Western African anymore. We are African descendant. Ghana. No. I get that. That is why I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that you are African descendants. The fact of the matter is your DNA runs with African DNA. You get what I'm saying? Then we have people like the Stoniak who will say things like that. And then I'm asking myself, why are you inserting yourself in this conversation if you are not going to recognize yourself as a black person? I don't get it. Emmanuel says that happened in UK on the funeral of the. Oh yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, we were on top of Ramaphosa for hopping on that bus. We're like, bro, why are you embarrassing us like that? You are hopping on a bus with a bunch of African leaders in a dingy-looking bus, while the Western leaders are put in fancy vehicles. No, man, that did not sit well with me either. It just did not sit well at all. Tia, hi Tia, how are you doing? Hi Clantis, you are dropping more gems. Thank you. Thank you. I just want us to have a conversation about these things, honestly speaking, because I want to learn as much as I want to teach you about the people of South Africa. And at some point, I'm sure I'm going to organize a some kind of a an event, whether it's going to be virtual or it's going to be in person, where we can sit down and have conversations, even have plenaries for that matter, and put together something that we all can utilize in taking ourselves forward. Those that want to come with us will come with us. Those that don't recognize themselves as black people, fine. Do your thing with your people. That's okay. We don't have an issue with that. But please leave us alone. Let us do what we need to do to unite so that the $2 trillion that is in the hands of black people in the United States can be utilized in progressing the black nation globally. Of course, if you're going to add the black people in the UK, the black people in Canada, the black people wherever they may be, adding on to the $2 trillion, can you imagine what can we do with that? Can you imagine taking back our natural resources from the people that come here and disrupt it? I mean, they're not disrupted, steal from us. Coming together. You know, when you hold a stick and you break it, this pencil is new. You see, when it's alone, I'm able to break it, right? But when they are, oh my goodness, this is a demonstration. But when we are like this, you see, and I try to break, that's unity, right? This is what you call unity. You can't break us. But when we go individually, it's easy. I have to buy new pencils. It's easy. So now we need to fight for unity. We need to fight to be together. So when they try to break us, it's not easy. You understand what I'm trying to say here, guys? So those that want to come, come. Those that don't want to come, fine. We will work our way until we win this battle. The reason why some of these people get away with a lot is because we are divided. And I've said this before, in order for us to move together in unison, we first need to fix here. We need to think alike. We need to do things alike. As African Americans are coming to South Africa, I always say, and this is true, by the way, things are done differently in South Africa. The moment you land in Atlanta to South Africa, whatever attitude or whatever feeling you may have, whether it is anger, frustration, leave it in Atlanta International Airport. Hop in as a blank canvas, because once you land in South Africa, you are going to reset your mind, your soul, your body. And I've seen people with ailments that have landed here in South Africa, ate our food, breathed our air, and somewhere somehow they're no longer taking medication. That's why come as a blank canvas. Because when you come with, let's say, I'm going to speak to people or about people that come here the most, African Americans. If you come with an African American mindset, you are not going to enjoy yourself. Instead, you're going to be seeing this, you'll be like, ooh, ooh. And that's not something we welcome. We don't welcome when we get rejected with facial expressions. If I'm offering you something and you're like, no, it's offensive to us. I am giving you from the kindness of my heart. The least that you can do is pretend as if you put it in your mouth, even though you did not eat it. I'll be appeased that you accepted what I offered you. And I'm not going to push it down your throat and say, you keep getting, no, don't keep having it. No, I'm going to be like, thank you. Or I'll not say that, I will not say thank you, but I will smile because you accepted me and my culture. You experienced my culture. That is your experience as well with my culture. When you go back, you get to understand the people of South Africa even better. You see what I'm trying to say here? Come as a blank canvas, or come blank, basically. You know, Louis says the Stoniak Swarthy America is no different than any other place on earth in that there were black skinned people here first. Yeah, well, maybe you should visit South Africa and you will learn about the what do you call it, cradle of humankind. So usually I don't like to entertain people like that because I know it's gonna be a hamster ride, the hamster wheel ride. So just go around in circles, and I'm not a person I like to move forward. I like progress. Convince yourself of whatever you want to convince yourself. That's cool. I'm okay. That is you and your thoughts and your delusions. Me, I am going according to what I believe I know. African Americans, Caribbean black people, Argentinian black people, Brazilian black people, you name them, they come from Africa. Taken here. Yahawa's kid says African Americans are mixed with any combination of tribes. I believe that. That's true. The brother that was talking to you about, he's a mixture of African American and Native American. And I see it with my own two eyes. Like, I believe him because there are features that shows both sides. So yeah, and he recognizes himself as an African American. He's married to an African American lady, even though it's a mixture. And he's not going around saying, "I'm not an African American. I'm a native." He's not saying that. Instead, he says, "I'm an African American." Yeah, I do believe that tribes such as Yoruba, Igbo, Ashanti, Ebron, Akan, Mende, Chemba, Asan, Temne, Fang, Fong, Lamba. Okay, I get it. I get it. The Khoisan, I see that's South Africa. Okay, okay. And then you continue with the tribes to say Tika, Hausa, Wolof. Which one that I can recognize here? Bakongo, Bantu. Once again, South Africa is in the Bantu. Like myself, I'm a Bantu. These tribes that live in present day Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Mali, Cameroon, Congo, Senegal, Benin, Togo, Sierra Leone, and Guinea. Okay, yeah, no, true. Guinea-Bissau, Burkina Faso, South Africa, etc. Yep. Like me, I am a Bantu. The Khoisan, it's a mixture of the Xhosa people as well as the Khoisan. Usually they were Khoi Khoi, and then you also have the San. So they also joined and they became, basically, they are the originators or the indigenous South Africans. So yeah, no, absolutely. But you were not going to hear me say, I'm not a South African, I am Kwame Bantu. You know, why for? I'm a South African. I'm black. I'm from Africa. This is, you know, so if just because you were born in the United States, cool, you're an American. I think before anything, you're an American and then an African. I accept that. As a matter of fact, it's a fact. Your forefathers were taken from Africa, and then generations after that were born in the United States. You are an American. There's no taking that away from you. You are a black British. You are British. Even if you are black born in China, you're Chinese before you are African because you are the descendants of the continent. And I accept that. I'm not going to force down Africa down your throat. You are who you are where you were born. And then your identification, therefore, is. So now to fight things that I think some of these guys, they fight uh, probably the right battle on the wrong platform. If your social security says African American, well, go fight the government, right? But I don't want to dwell too much in this. I just want to celebrate Black History Month, and I am inserting us South Africans in that as a as in solidarity with African Americans. In October, with British Black people in Canada as well as in Ireland. Okay, I think Canada is with African Americans in February. October is Ireland in the UK. I would like us to insert ourselves because your history is our history. Our history is your history. You are me and I am you. Ubuntu. I am because you are, or you are because I am. Whichever way you want to call it, you know? So, this thing of being on each other's throats because of identity, it only makes them like, we did a great job. We divided them. Look at them. And then just sit back and relax and watch us on each other's throats about who's who, really. And it can be upsetting. It can be very much upsetting. I think, again, we need to fix here before we move. This is the stuff that we discuss every time with my African Americans that are here in South Africa. It's something that we talk about all the time. We ask each other, how do we advance this mission of bridging the gap? And I'm saying, in order for the gap to be bridged, we need to think alike. We need to do things alike. Your pain in the US, your pain in the UK, your pain in wherever you are is also our pain. Our pain should also be your pain. We unite. We unite. If you hear that A black person was shot and killed, all of us, even go as far as demanding sanctions. We need to do that. I mean, you saw what South Africa did, though I don't like talking much about politics, with the whole issue of, well, you know the issue that I'm talking about, right? So that's what we all need to come together and rally around that so that nobody takes advantage of us. The moment they think about it, they'll be like, no, this is not, it's out of my range of doing things. We need to unite. And those that break away, they should not that isolate them. Let them go and realize themselves what they did in selling us has done to them or will do to them. Let them go learn that lesson. You know, that is just what I wanted to say. So before I leave, guys, I just want to make maybe 5 announcements and then I go. So, guys, let's start with YouTube. YouTube in November, it started placing ads. I'm sure now and again you see an ad playing while I am talking, and that can be annoying. That's not me. YouTube decided that in November, it's going to start placing ads while we are having a live. Before, we used to have a live until it finishes, and then the replay will have ads. Now, while I am busy going live, you will meet an ad. Please just know that it is not my fault at all. But at the same time, because I'm also raising funds for some few things, I would appreciate it if you watch the ad. I know. But I would appreciate it. The long ones, please skip. But the shorter ones, okay, I highly appreciate it. Uh, that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about. Just to let you know that those ads are not placed by me, they are placed by YouTube. Second thing, I've heard you guys a lot. The last year I opened a PayPal account and a lot of you donated cash. And it took me 6 months to withdraw that money because I don't like asking for money. It's something that we are not taught to do. I think I've even said it in a video a few videos ago. That we are not taught to ask. But I see a lot of emails that Clantis, where is your PayPal link? I want to donate something. So from now on, I'm just going to put it there in the what do you call this, in the description box. I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just going to have it there. If you feel like you want to donate, as I said, I'm trying to raise some funds for some few things. That also includes when African Americans come here. I do have some cash to meet them at the airport and then do things with them when they are here. I think that also helps. In fact, that's what I used that money for, the last year's money. I used it to run around and move around and make sure that our African brothers and sisters from the US, uh, they uh, they enjoy December with me. So I saw that money did help. So I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna ask anything. If you want, just go into the description box and do your thing. That's the second thing. And the other way as well to donate into the channel is a super thanks. There's a super thanks button that you can click. I think it's next to the subscribe button. I'm not quite sure where. I think you're gonna click on the three dots. You're gonna see it. It says thanks with a dollar sign. Yeah, that's another way of doing it. If you want to donate into the channel. And then the fourth thing that I want to discuss, an African American friend of mine who's living here, we are starting a business together. I know I've said it before in a video. So we are starting a business, and this business is it's aimed at our African diasporans that are coming to South Africa. And you probably don't want to spend too much money, but you want to spend what you can afford. So we look for you for Airbnbs, we look for you transportation that's going to pick you from the airport, restaurants to eat at, and then other itinerary Your job is to book yourself your own flight, and the rest we will take care of. That is something that we are working on. In fact, we are at the final stages of preparing this sort of platform. So sooner or later, you're going to see, because the fifth announcement around the same business, we've opened a YouTube channel. We haven't posted anything yet. Let me see what's the name of the channel. I kind of like forgot. I'm so sorry. Let me check it. What it is called. You can subscribe in the meantime before we start with our with videos, so that you get to hear what we are about. Basically, the name of the channel is Two Worlds Meet. Two Worlds Meet. TWO Worlds Meet. That is the name of the channel. You please do go and subscribe. Let me just put it here in the chat. To blah, 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 blah. That's the name of the channel that we have opened. Subscribe in the meantime, because we do have content. We also do speak to people that are visiting. We have some conversations, enjoy ourselves. We'll also be posting videos about things that we are doing together. If you are looking for a house, or you're looking for an apartment, or whatever the case is, we are your people. So we already created an email address. You will find all of that once we start with our YouTube channel and the content therein. So those are the announcements that I wanted to make, in case you are wondering what is happening. I'm doing this with an African American brother. There's two South Africans, but the South Africans, another South African brother, he'll be supplying the transportation and all of that. We all set with many things. We just tweaking a few little things here and there. And once all of that has been finalized, then we launch, and hopefully we're going to start having y'all also trusting us with your travel experience once you get to South Africa. You book your own flights. You book your own flights, and we will recommend Airbnbs, hotels, if you're interested in hotels, and then you take it from there. Okay. There are more. I'm just touching the tip of the iceberg here. There's far more other stuff that we will be offering to you. So yeah, I mean, this is something that many of you have said, "Hey, Candice, why don't you do it?" And at first, I was a little reluctant, and now that I see, okay, I'm getting more and more emails. I'm thinking, because most of the emails are asking me recommendations for this, recommendations for that. So I thought, you know what? Let me partner up with my African American brother, and I'll tell you the honest truth why I'm working with my African American brother, so that it's comfortable for you as an African American to trust that this is legit. You understand what I'm saying? Because I think if it was an South African that is living in the US, and then they open a business such as this one, I think I'll be more comfortable to know that, okay, I have a fellow South African on the other side, I can resonate with them, so this is legit. That's the whole point of having him. He's a great guy, amazing person. You will see him very soon on our YouTube channel. Yesterday, we were at his house with a bunch of us. Everybody was African American. I think there were 3 or 4 South Africans. It was amazing. I love doing this with my brothers and sisters. British, Black British, come on, you guys. Come on. Jamaicans are coming. Oh my God, I love Jamaicans. All Jamaicans are coming, and they're coming in droves. I love that. Can we have Bohemians? Can we have Canadians? Come on, Canadians, you're sleeping. We want you here as well. Black Latinas, please do your thing too. You'll be warmly welcomed here. And we would like to be your people that are going to lead you From the start, when the moment you land to the moment you leave, we will take care of you. Okay. Our prices are not that. Not. I'm not saying not that. They are not expensive. They're inexpensive. Let me put it. It's so that you can afford that time that you're going to have with us here. Go back with great memories. Okay. Again, like I said, we haven't launched. I'm just letting you know this is what we are working on. So that when you start sending your emails, you can even start sending your emails right now. We will still be able to show you things and get you from the airport to your hotels. If you okay, at this point, you will have to book your own hotel. But if you want transport, I can organize the transport for you from the airport to your hotel or Airbnb and stuff like. If you also have itinerary that are going to take you out of Johannesburg, let's say to Durban or to Cape Town, and you want to do it by road, I got all of that is well organized. We already in talks with a lot of people, so we want you to have a great time. We want you to have a great time. And of course, you get to sit down with us and have dinner or have lunch or hang out, go places. Man, ask everybody that has been here what we've been doing. And you thought December was over? No, not here in South Africa and not when I am still around. Hell to the no. You will experience everything the way you see them on the videos that I also post and much better as well. So, other than that, guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Happy Black History Month once again to all of my African American brothers and sisters and my Canadian Black Canadians. Thank you all so much for your support. I highly appreciate it. Let me close off by reading your comments. Tia says, yes, lots of ads. Your channel is growing. Thank you, Tia. I appreciate. I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry, but like I said, there's some funds that I'm raising, and I appreciate it when you watch the ads. Thank you. As much as but the long one, like 4 minute long ones, I will forgive you by skipping that. But all the other ones, thank you. The Rock says, Clantis, do SA want to unite? Yes. This is not even bro. Come, do you see for yourself? Yes, we want to unite with you. We want to work with you. We want to be. I don't want to sound. How do I not sound? Yeah, be one with you. Yes, come on, come, please. You will see. Tia says, congratulations, Clantis. 2024 is your year. I accept. I receive. Thank you, Tia. Definitely, that's the plan to make 2024 my year. Black Cat 66 Logic says, let me get this straight. Is Italy even a very wealthy country? It's a first world country, from what I hear. That's how it's described. If not, why are these African leaders even entertaining to go this so-called summits? I think from this point on, I don't know. I just don't know. Honestly speaking, all they're doing is embarrassing us. Every time they go to Europe, they embarrass us. How do you allow yourself to be bussed by a raggedy looking bus while all the other European leaders are in fancy, comfortable cars? Makes no sense. Who organizes these things? Clearly, they don't see black people. Clearly, they have no respect for them. And they also allow themselves to be disrespected like that. Honestly speaking, it makes no sense to me. Anyways, thank you all so much for listening to me. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section because nobody came through. Hopefully, as I do this, more people will feel the courage to click on the link and let's have a one-on-one chat. I want to see the face to the name. I would love that. You know, I would love that. Yahweh's kid says, "Congrats, Clantus. Best wishes. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Guys, let's say good night. From my side, it is 11:34. I have work tomorrow. I love you all, guys. Thank you. Yes, we are uniting South Africans, African Americans, and the African diaspora. We are uniting. And that is why we want to observe Black History Month with you in solidarity. And we would also like to celebrate our own public commemorations, the 27th of April, as well as June 16th and December 16th, because these affect us and our history as these people. All right. So yeah, you're definitely welcome. Black Cat 66 says, "Let me get okay." I already read that. You're okay. You reposted the same question. Anyways, guys, good night. Bye. Much love. Okay.